Thomas Prins was sticking to his story. He said nothing physical happened between him and Crystal on that boat. Cops believed otherwise.
The evidence suggests, from what we know so far, that there was a physical altercation took place. You were the last person with her.
I mean, you have four
Scratches on your right arm, your forearm, you got bruises on your left arm, scratches on your back, you're bleeding on your leg.
So I think it was last night when I ended up slipping down by the dock when I was pulling the boat up.
There is a bunch of bruises on her.
Okay. I mean, is it possible maybe she could have got something when she jumped in the water? I don't know.
Water doesn't do that to you. She looks like she went a couple rounds with Mike Tyson. And you're telling me that nothing physical took place?
There was nothing physical that took place on the boat. I mean, we had sex like 3 times on the boat and stuff, but not to a point of...
So you guys had sexual intercourse 3 times on the boat?
Yeah.
Not rough sex or anything like that?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we grabbed each other.
Did you grab her neck last night?
What, when we were having sex? No. No, not last night.
Did you put anything around her neck?
No. At one point and stuff, we did, I'm trying to think, like when we were sitting up in the chair and stuff, I did end up grabbing her and stuff when we were...
By the shoulders, probably?
No, kind of like by your neck and the shoulders area and stuff, to where my fingers would have been like right there, but not to, like I said, not to a point where we were hurting one another.
Next, detectives showed Thomas photos of Crystal's injuries.
Thomas.
Yes.
I got a couple of photos here.
Okay.
Would you mind taking a look at them?
Are they of Crystal? But these are the bruises that are on her face. From what? From her hitting something?
That's what we're here to find out, Thomas. You see the lines around the neck? You know what that's called? What that appears to be?
What does that appear to be?
A ligature mark.
Okay, so like a rope or something?
The medical examiner would later determine Crystal died from asphyxiation. Cops believe Thomas strangled her with her own bikini top.
Where is her bathing suit?
Her bathing suit with,
Did you wash it?
No, she originally had, her bathing suit top,
To her lip. Her chin.
She was punched.
She was punched multiple times.
Okay, well, it definitely wasn't by me.
Your knuckles are swollen. The only thing that explains these marks is an altercation between her and somebody else. And that somebody else, I think, was you.
Am I being charged with anything?
Not at the moment.
With not enough to hold him, Thomas Prins walked out a free man.
I actually pulled up next to him at a red light, and he saw me and he rolled down his window and he goes, "Fred, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." I didn't say anything to him because I couldn't, because I knew what had happened and I knew he was still walking the streets at that point.
And when Crystal's mom, Lori, called Thomas,
I asked Tommy if I could pick up her clothes, and he told me no, he needed more time to grieve. I wanted her clothes so I could smell her, because I didn't have anything. I wanted to smell her again.
Then, more than 2 months after Crystal was found murdered,
She got him.
Thomas Prins was arrested and charged.
In your case, sir, you have been indicted by a grand jury on a charge of first-degree murder, set bond at no bond.
8 months later, the case would go to trial. Thomas's defense, Crystal drowned.
The medical examiner was satisfied that it was not drowning, because there was no water in her lungs. There was no water in her stomach.
The prosecution's case, well, in addition to the photos of both Thomas and Crystal's injuries, they had other strong physical evidence.
We found blood on certain clothing and towels, and we also checked the boat, which was parked in his backyard. Numerous areas of the on the boat that they had found blood evidence on, and Crystal's hair.
And in their pocket, the prosecution had a key witness, a witness who helped blow part of Thomas's story out of the water. It was, of all people, Crystal's ex-husband who had sold Thomas the boat.
The key witness in the case was Crystal's ex-husband. His knowledge of the boat made Thomas Prins and his defense not only unlikely but impossible. He was able to explain to the jury that the sounds that were in the background of a 911 call were inconsistent with the story that Thomas Prince had given to the police.
She took the keys to my boat and jumped off the boat.
Right there, you can hear Thomas tell the 911 operator Crystal took the keys and jumped off the boat. But Crystal's ex-husband testifies you can actually hear Thomas trying to start the boat in the background. How does that happen without the keys?
When you listen to the call, you can hear the ignition key turning in the background. You can hear the blower motor come on. You can hear the engine turn over one revolution. All things that aren't possible if Crystal has the key and is swimming to shore.
The trial lasted 3 days.
There was no sympathy towards the victim at all. This entire trial was about him. He assumed this cocky, confident posture that he would be released and that she didn't really matter.
Then, just after a few hours of deliberations, the jury came back with their verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Thomas Anthony Prince, as follows: guilty of the charge of first-degree murder.
Moments later, shockingly, Thomas collapses. Many wondered if it was real or an act.
But I think he did it to get attention.
Thomas Prince was sentenced to life without parole.
I just wish I could have 10 minutes with him.
And many hail Crystal as a hero, choosing to save Mr. Wagner's daughter that night.
Coming back over to the boat because she's afraid he'll hurt my daughter.
She went back to her abuser in order to protect someone who was more vulnerable. Crystal saved that girl that night at her own peril.
For Crystal's family, it's consolation, but it won't bring her back.
Wow. I miss Crystal. It's hard to say how much I miss her because I miss her so much. Crystal didn't deserve this. She was out on the boat with someone that was supposed to love and protect her, and he didn't do that. He killed her.
And sadly, there were many alleged reports of Thomas abusing Crystal that came out after her death. Her family hopes this tragedy will help save others from a similar demise.
If there's anything good that can come from this, I just hope that people will speak up and say something. I would have helped her. So please speak up. Don't let this happen to you.